Iran launches new wave of missiles and drones against Israeli military targets, while Tel Aviv continues to target civilian, medical and energy Iranian facilities. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has denounced Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's intentions of dragging the world into disaster. In Venezuela, young people are proposing communal projects which will be voted on next July 27th in a nationwide popular consultation. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from TeleSUR Studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. Iran launched a new wave of missiles and drones against Israel. Tel Aviv continues to target civilian, medical and energy Iranian facilities. The genocidal army attacked an ambulance and an energy center and claimed to have killed 5 important Iranian generals. Tehran confirmed 5 casualties but has not yet identified them. The Hebrew cities of Haifa, Beersheba, Tel Aviv, Ramat Gan and Holon keep their alarms and shelter indications active in light of the effectiveness of the Persian attacks. On Saturday morning, the Israeli forces set all alarms following the Iranian airstrike on the occupied territories within the Iron Dome. The Iranian drone hit a building overnight. However, the Zionist regime reported neither death nor injured in the attack. Moreover, Israeli defense officials confirmed they shot down the UAV. Nonetheless, evidence revealed they did it by using a helicopter, not with the efficacy of the Iron Dome. Thus, this Iranian blow proved once again the weakness of their Iron Dome. In Iran, Israel launches new attacks against the city of Tehran and the Isfahan nuclear facility. Isfahan authorities confirmed that the attack on nuclear facilities did not cause any leaks of hazardous materials in the area. They added that most of the explosions occurred in air defense activities. In addition, Israeli armed forces attacked the cities of Mashhad and Ahvaz in the province of Khuzestan amid the activation of Iranian air defenses. Iran has accused the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, before the United Nations for not condemning Israel's attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities. The statement was made by Iran's United Nations Permanent Representative Amir Saeed Iravani, who stressed his deep concern over a gross negligence and obvious breach of the high official's obligations. The Iranian ambassador stressed that despite Israel's public acknowledgement of its involvement in the attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities, Grossi did not issue any condemnation nor mention the responsible party. The Iranian diplomat also denounced that the attack facilities were under International Atomic Energy Agency safeguards, so the silence of the Director General represents passive complicity in the face of an unprecedented aggression. In Iraq, the People's Central Committee organized a march in solidarity with Iran and against the Israeli aggressions. The demonstrators raised Iranian flags to underscore the support of the Iraqi people to their brethren in the face of Zionist criminality. March participants urged people in free countries and also international institutions to force Israel to stop its aggressions. They also stressed the need to unite efforts and close ranks in the face of the conflict that threatens stability in the region. Meanwhile, in the UK, thousands of demonstrators have recently protested, demanding the government halt arms sales to Israel. In addition, they urged the Zionist regime to end the genocide against the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip and cease fire against Iran. Also, thousands of citizens took to the streets of Berlin in support of Iran and Palestine, condemning the aggression carried out by the Israeli regime in these countries. The demonstrators carried Palestinian and Iranian flags, banners, and chanted slogans in rejection of the genocide in the Gaza Strip. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has denounced Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's intentions of dragging the world into a disaster. At the summit of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation, which has drawn in over 1,000 international guests, the foreign ministers of the organization, currently chaired by Turkey, will address the crisis in the Middle East brought on by the Israeli aggression against Iran and the genocide on the Gaza Strip. Member countries, ministers, vice ministers, and chancellors, together with representatives of social organizations, seek to agree on a common position to face the current geopolitical challenges.
Chairman of the 50th.
Former United States President Bill Clinton says Washington should not allow the slaughter of civilians in the Middle East so that Netanyahu may remain in power. The former U.S. president said the Israeli prime minister had long wanted to fight against Iran because that would allow him to stay in office forever. He recalled that Netanyahu has been in government for 20 years. Clinton said that opting for an undeclared war where the victims are civilians who only want to live a dignified life is not a good solution. European social organizations protest against the rearmament of Europe and in favor of world peace. The organizers of the protest say that the activity is part of the demonstrations called from June 21st to 29th against the North Atlantic Treaty Organization Summit. Activists warn that the conflict between Israel and Iran threatens to extend warfare to a global level. Protesters carried banners with the slogan "No to Rearmament." The co-president of Nicaragua, Rosario Murillo, urged to promote peace among the peoples worldwide in view of the complex international scenario between Iran and Israel. The leader stressed the need to ensure the welfare of the people amid a complex and agitated world which challenges all the rules of coexistence among regions. In this sense, Murillo spurred to maintain humanity and foster common sense. Likewise, she called for defending peace, sovereignty, and human rights in the face of the threats and tragedies in the world. And now we have a short break coming up, but first remember you can join us on TikTok at TeleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. On Saturday, Israeli forces continued to target civilians in Gaza. Health authorities registered 21 killed, some while waiting for humanitarian aid. After attacking Iran and Lebanon, occupation forces targeted hundreds of Palestinians who were hoping to obtain some food in what it is being described as U.S. and Israeli hunger traps. Zionist artillery shelled Rafah, Nusayrat, Zaytun, Han Yunis, and Suhaija. Doctors at Al-Auda Hospital also confirmed dozens of injured from the same location. According to the latest update, Israeli genocidal forces have killed and wounded more than 186,000 Palestinians to date, most of them women and children. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, warned Saturday that the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip is turning increasingly into a catastrophe. The entity underscored that the siege imposed by the Netanyahu administration has prevented the entry of vital supplies such as food, fuel and medicines. In this sense, UNRWA stressed that for over 100 days, Israeli forces had been averting the provision of diesel in the territory so that the functioning of hospitals and emergency services had been at risk. In this regard, UNRWA spokesperson remarked that the delivery of humanitarian aid must be conducted in a broad and safe manner. Likewise, the United Nations diplomat noted the United Nations agencies were the only ones that could guarantee such process. In Sudan, the aggressions of paramilitary rapid support forces made the people go through famine. In this context, social movements warned that the inhabitants of El Fasher city were suffering from that scourge. Activists further pointed out that the displaced people in the Samsam camp were formally declared this year in a situation of famine. Meanwhile, the city's surroundings have been taken over by the paramilitary forces, despite the efforts made by both the Sudanese army and the militias of the governor of the Darfur region to defend them. Amid this scenario, the Resistance Committee of El Fasher city called the government for immediate intervention to provide basic materials and sustainable solutions to the population. On Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin reiterated his call for Ukraine to recognize the incorporation into Russia of the People's Republics of Donetsk and Luhansk, as well as the provinces of Zaporozhye and Kherson following the referendums held in 2022. He also insisted on the recognition of Crimea annexed in 2014. Putin thus emphasized the importance of respecting the will of the people as the basis of democracy. He also pointed out that failure to recognize these results could lead to the resumption of armed conflict. The Russian leader affirmed that Ukraine must commit to maintaining neutrality, refraining from military alliances and guaranteeing the denuclearization, demilitarization and denazification of its territory.
С наименьшими потерями. Происходит определенная логика боевых действий.
Venezuela's Minister of Foreign Trade, Coromoto Godoy Calderon, highlighted the importance of strengthening trade between Russia and the South American country within the framework of the International Economic Forum held in St. Petersburg. Minister Calderon highlighted the solid strategic partnership between the two countries based on close political cooperation and the closeness between their leaders. She also highlighted the vision of multipolarity represented by Russia, a valuable alternative in a world of conflicts. The diplomat emphasized bilateral cooperation in different development sectors. In this regard, she underlined the need to promote trade more strongly. And in this regard, also was reported that there are opportunities to expand bilateral trade. The authorities are working with the Russian side to achieve this and boost the South American country's economy. And we have a second show break coming up. Before we invite you to visit our Facebook page at TeleSUR English, there you'll be able to watch our top stories, special live coverage and much more. Follow our page and activate the notification button to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final show break, don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. The Mexican government reported that since the beginning of Donald Trump's administration, a total of 1,154 Mexican citizens have been detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Mexican Foreign Minister Juan Ramón de la Fuente highlighted the government's efforts to provide consular assistance to detained compatriots as well as to strengthen services aimed at the migrant community in the territory. De la Fuente emphasized that migration is a human right and underscored the importance of initiatives such as the Migrants' Rights Handbook and the External Legal Advice Program. Recent migration rates have generated widespread protest in various cities in the United States, where activists and civil organizations have rejected the migration policies promoted by the Trump administration, describing them as inhumane. In Venezuela, young people are proposing communal projects which will be voted on next July 27th in a nationwide popular consultation. President Nicolás Maduro urged the country's youth to put forward projects to benefit both young people and their communities. On his part, People's Power Youth Minister Sergio Lotartario stressed the importance of this process in consolidating a participatory democracy. Over the next few weeks, Venezuelan youth will gather at some 40,000 communal councils to discuss proposals that will go to vote next July 27th. In Croatia, a major forest fire broke on the Adriatic coast, affecting hundreds of residents. According to authorities, the epicenter was located in Pisac town, near Split, the capital. During the rescue effort, a firefighter and several residents were injured due to the intensity of the flames. Meanwhile, the Air Force deployed several firefighting specialized aircraft. Also, roads south of the town were blocked to contain the spread of the fire. In central China, authorities reported Saturday 3 missing persons in Longshan County, Hunan province, as a result of strong storms which are currently battering the region. In this context, local officials specified that the missing victims had been trapped in a subway parking garage due to severe flash floods triggered by torrential rains. In addition, they unfolded that the fire department had been conducting search and rescue operations to find them. Meanwhile, the Longshan department warned that the water level in the Goli River rose, making residential houses submerged up to 3 meters. Likewise, in Anhui province, rescue teams had been deployed in the flooded areas with sandbags, and workers had cleared over 20 downed trees that blocked roads across the city. In Peru, Congress dismissed without debate 4 constitutional complaints filed against President Dina Boluarte. 3 of these were related to the death recorded during the social protest against her that took place between the end of 2022 and early 2023, while the 4th complaint accused the president of alleged misuse of power by taking on responsibilities that belonged to the former president Pedro Castillo. The evaluation reports recommended that the cases be dismissed, considering that the alleged acts did not constitute a violation of the Constitution or crimes of office. Cuba and Italy developed irrigation system that allows for rational water use and precise irrigation in various agroecological farms in Havana. Italian researchers explained that the system works in a simple way. Each station is equipped with technology that measures soil temperature and moisture. They added that the effects of climate change will not have a negative impact on crops thanks to the system's technology. The initiative is the result of a collaboration between the Cuban Ministry of Agriculture and the Agricultural Business Group and other institutions. As every year, thousands of people witness the summer solstice on Saturday, June 21st at Stonehenge near Salisbury in Wiltshire, United Kingdom. At solstice, sunrises do not change constantly as usual. In turn, they stand still for a couple of mornings in a row. In fact, this astronomical event sets the official start of summer alongside the longest day in the Northern Hemisphere each year by the time the sun reaches its highest northeastern point, lighting the Hillstone of the World Heritage Site. Subsequently, Stonehenge manager asserted that the over 30 degrees Celsius temperatures did not prevent visitors to enjoy approaching the monumental stones for free from June 20th, 7 p.m. to June 21st, 8 a.m. Therefore, residents, tourists, and followers of pagan philosophies gathered together to watch the unique phenomenon. And like this, we have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok as well. For TeleSUR English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.